Yes, but let me explain why this game is so incredible. We're going to split this video into 3 separate sections. Feel free to watch all the way through or skip where you want. Either way, let's get into it. Every good first person shooter has good shooting mechanics, obviously. Except for Battlefield 2042, but the less we talk about that is probably for the better. I mean, just look at this.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
They couldn't even get the main part of the game to work. Anyway, this game is not like that, as it has some of the most fun combat I've experienced in what feels like decades. From the satisfying sound design when you shoot someone, to the way enemies just burst into gold coins when killed. This game has it all and knows how to please my big monkey brain, and I can appreciate that. And I rarely got bored of the game, as there's over 15 different weapons, some being simple and satisfying like the AKM, or my personal favourite, the RPG. Oh, what's the RPG? I'm glad you asked. Let me show you.
What the dog doing?
You get out of my game.
Hello there.
Target acquired.
Okay. Hit Superman!
Oh, baby, it's triple! Oh, yeah!
And whilst that is fun, really fun, that's not all there is, as there are other weapons that require a lot more skill and have much higher learning curves, like the throwing knives. And let me just preface this by saying I've been playing video games and first person shooters for practically my whole life, but this is just the worst. I have missed more shots than Riley Reid. Anyway, eventually you'll get better at it and can pull off clips like this. And once you finally get it, it's one of the most rewarding feelings, so keep playing with them, because I used to suck with them, and still do, but at least I have fun. Just don't go crazy and try to get the highest rank with it, no one would do that anyways. The game also has its own ability system, similar to Overwatch. Each character has unique abilities that can change the way you play the game, such as Heavy's Charge and Slam, which allows you to easily disengage from any fight by just smashing through the nearby walls. Or the medium sentry turret, which shoots alongside you and protects the objective from any unwelcome visitors. Well, you could do that, or you could just do this.
Turret. Yeah, let's go! Let's go! Turret, shoot the guys in turret.
And honestly, pretty balanced. Those are just a few abilities though, and there's a lot more to unlock as you play. My favourite is light, invis and stun gun combo, as I can sneak in behind them, killing them without them even knowing I was there, often getting 2 to 3 kills at a time. And just quickly, I'll run through equipment, as it can be used very tactically and is very useful to know about. Some can be used to hold the cash point down, preventing anyone from taking it from you, like the pyro grenades, gas mines and a few others, whereas equipment like barriers allow you to block off all entry points onto the objective, which makes it a lot harder for the enemies to take it from you. Overall, the combat is incredible and feels as premium as it gets. Even whilst being a free-to-play game, this really sets the bar a lot higher for the lazier AAA companies, who are just releasing low-effort, formulated copies of the same game we've had for decades too long. The Finals breaks away from this though, and adds more to it than just, ooh, grenade goes bang. Like how instead of using my equipment for its normal purpose, I found out I could use smokes to get rid of fire, or fire to get rid of toxic gas. And even the canisters scattered around the map are useful, as you can use them for the exact same thing as your pyro or smoke grenade. Right, so that's all well and good, but what about the movement? For me, movement can make or break a game, and in a world where attention spans are dwindling, my monkey brain just can't handle not being in a fight for longer than 2 seconds. I've tried, it doesn't work, and you guys aren't even listening right now. Right, let's get back to what we're talking about. I remember when I first started playing, I was jumping from rooftop to rooftop, climbing the falling structures and diving on the first enemy I saw. And they haven't just added movement to look fancy or follow trends like Fortnite, it's actually super practical and can end up giving you an advantage. And as there's so much to learn here, it will keep you busy for a very long time, as it only continues to keep expanding as people discover new tricks and metas. Like, another trick I learned was the ability to get up several levels super quickly, just by jumping from window to window. And this honestly just made everything feel so much more free, almost like I could do anything I thought of, which just made the map feel more like a playground than anything. Somewhere I could test my ideas, rather than just a pretty looking box with barely anything to do. And I get that in competitive first person shooters, you don't want the map to take away from the gameplay, but it was just so nice to see that difference, as it feels like a pretty unique style that I haven't seen before. It's really like no game out right now, as there's so much variety depending on how you want to play it. It just reminds me of TF2, with all the different combos, characters and movement options. That game was a goldmine for content. I'm using the word was very strongly though. Valve, please fix. Anyway, there's also other stuff that you just find out instinctively. Like when you slide over a jump pad, it sends you flying in that direction, whereas just walking on it only throws you upwards. Which is great if you want to get on the rooftops and get angles on the enemies, but bad if you want to get somewhere fast, maybe snipe people's cash points or deliver a vault quickly, and without anyone knowing, you're gone. You've had 7 children, been divorced twice, and lived out your life partner. But at least you got the vaulting. Good job. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, there's even air strafing and some bunny hopping. So, if like me, you've played any Source game at any time in your life at all, you'll probably have an advantage over other players. Or, you could just jump in a hole, I guess that works too. And finally, destruction. I've left the best till last here though. The destruction is easily mine, and probably everyone else's favourite thing about the game. As one minute you could be in a building, as safe as possible, the next you're living on the streets, fighting for your life, walking through fire and toxic gas, trying to survive. But just as it can be terrifying to deal with, it can also bring so much energy into the game. Hearing 200 explosions surrounding you as a massive chunk of a building falls and crumbles to the floor. Just Cause got it right, and this game gets that. And then fighting amongst everything you've destroyed is just amazing, as the map will continue to completely change around you, meaning you'll have to find ways to adapt to different situations and learn how to deal with them effectively. And whilst watching everything fall around you is great, there's more to it than that, as you can actually use destruction tactically, like making holes in the floors or walls so you can get a longer line of sight on the objective, breaking zip lines, making it so much harder for your enemies to get on the objective, or even my favourite, just complete fun, knocking down the foundation of every building you enter, really putting your balls on the table and just killing whoever approaches you. But let's be honest now, this game has done a lot for me, as it's slowly bringing my confidence back up in gaming, because we've had far too many rough patches throughout the years, not just with terrible games and buggy releases, but even with a lot of the shady and immoral practices in bigger corporations, which is just really not how gaming should be perceived. It should be more about escaping from everyday life, just finding that little time for yourself, to relax and just kick it with some friends, just like the old days. And for me, that was the finals, and I hope to see more in the future. Well, that's enough of my rambling. I'm genuinely curious though. What do you think of the game in its current state? Do you see it becoming an esports giant, paving the way for future developers? Or do you see a crash and burn where it doesn't get the love and attention that a game like this really needs? Let me know in the comments. And hey, if you want to continue this conversation, hop over to Twitch and catch me live. I'll be either playing the game or just talking to chat. Don't forget to leave a like if you liked it, subscribe if you hate me. Alright, that's final. Peace.